Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Can you hear me, viewers? Thank you for responding with yes. Let me welcome the participants first. Then, uh, tonight's topic, which might sound offensive to some, but a viewer asked a question in last night's live chat. He asked about my views that is there any way, any method to remove Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki? I said I'll do a video on that because you cannot just say a few words on it. So I worked on it, and tonight I want to share my conclusion with you. Let me welcome the participants first. Forever is the first viewer. First word is in Amharic or Tigrinya. John Jackson says, my brother Sajid, how are you, John Jackson? Peace and love join to welcome. Peace and love. Peace and love is a member too. Special welcome to you, peace and love. John Jackson is from Somali region. TE says, good evening. Anonymous says, why remove him? He is 79. It is a failed state. Well, who knows how long he will live? Ali Chiham Ali is from Minnesota, says hi. Shafo joined too. Shafo is a member as well. Welcome, Shafo. Good to see you. Love yourself. Peace and love says you will make PFDJ supporters crazy today. I don't care. I mean, if you remember Peace and Love, we talked about how to remove Ethiopian PM. I think you would remember that. Did a video on that. I spoke in detail about that. I talked about how to crush Fano. I talked about how to crush Tigray fighters, how to weaken Ola. When people ask about a particular issue and they want my views, I candidly, openly express my opinion. I am not an activist in support of or against someone. I have my views, so I share it with you. You can accept, you can reject, you can criticize, you can appreciate. So if PFDJ supporters criticize me, it's their right to do that, but I think they should counter through arguments. Lilo joined to Forever says, hi Sajid, from yesterday's live show, I can tell you that hopefully you understand Eritrean history and economic structure. Maybe before you podcast, you should learn history and economy of Eritrea. Well, I said that if anything is missing, do enlighten me. What is missing? What is Eritrean economy, which I don't know. I'm still open to discussion. You can contact me through Gmail, sajid672@gmail.com. Robel Hele join. Free Eritrea is here. Ilyas says it is our Eritrean matter. Yes, but you cannot stop non-Eritreans from having an opinion about Eritrea. By the way, you people, some of you loved listening to me when I talked about the removal of Ethiopian PM. Why? Because you are interested in Ethiopia. So those who are interested in the Horn of Africa, if they want to express their views, you should listen to them, I think. Open Mind says, Isaias Afwerki, great leader. We will protect him until last. He is the father of the nation. You are a funny man. Okay, do it. Protect him. He's very protected already, by the way. TMH here. Ibisa Gilana says, could I participate? Your views, comment. Yeah, you can write you can write comments. Mengistu Katilla says, why are you quiet about those people in Pakistan who kidnapped by armed group? You people are not Pakistanis. You're not interested in learning about Pakistan. I know that. So why should I waste my time talking about Pakistan? Waste your time as well. Simon Tisfai says, Isaias is most like Mao Zedong. He is the father of a nation. Oromo Secular says, the president is about to expire. The Black Man, Musi Haptis, Yared Walad, Lilo says, did Djibouti ask to leave the country? No, Lilo, Djibouti is launching a crackdown on illegal migrants, pressure building because of migrants dying off the coast of Djibouti who try to illegally reach Middle East. Djibouti has given 1 month to all illegal foreigners living there to leave the country, Ethiopians included. Adam Apple says, your topic is unique and interesting. Thank you, Apple. Lucy Rock joined too. Lucy is a member too. Special welcome, Lucy. Abraham Okbe said, Ethiopia is the most disaster puppet country in the world. Ethiopia is the most weakest country. Sarah joined too says, we love Isaias Afwerki, she's saying, I think. LAR says, hi. Etto Webrahan Gebrehyut joined as well. Robel Hale, Endrik Zapata. Simon Shiv Tube says, you are against Eritrea. Why would I be against Eritrea? Mo Soma joined. Yarid Volad, Ozil Garner, Robert T. Well, welcome to all of you. I think I missed a few names. Johannes Hum. My apologies if I'm missing some names. I try to read all the screen names. I would request you now to let me speak for around 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. And I hope I'll make myself clear in the next 10 minutes how to remove Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki from power. There are 5 parties, I think, which will have to play a role. I'll talk about these 5 parties, but I think we should start from the past, which efforts were made in the past to remove Isaias Afwerki. By the way, there is no model in Eritrea, there's no precedence in Eritrea about how to remove leaders. In Ethiopia, precedents exist. Dergs were removed. Haile Selassie was removed. EPRDF was removed. So precedents exist in Ethiopia. In Eritrea, no precedents. Isaias Afwerki in power since 1991, 1993. But attempts have been made. So we can talk about attempts. We can talk about the players which can play a role. We can talk about the current situation. How strong is Isaias internally? How strong is his team? And which parties can play a role? By the way, some people are saying he's old. Yeah, if you want to wait for Isaias Afwerki to leave uh, uh, in the form of death, then then people should wait, I think. By the way, all of us will die. Death is an ultimate reality. So I will die, you will die, Isaias Afwerki will die as well. But if people want to wait, then there's no need for any strategy. People should wait. Uh, but if there should be a strategy to remove Isaias Afwerki, what are the prerequisites? Can I start yours? I'll start speaking once you give me the go ahead. Okay, well, let me start. By the way, some viewers are saying, why do you want to talk about his removal? Why can't we talk about his removal? I mean, if we can talk about PM Abi's removal, if we can talk about Fano's, how to weaken Fano, if we talk about how to weaken Ola, if we can talk about the capabilities of in opposition groups, why can't we talk about removal of Isaias Afwerki? Why? Man in power since 1993, no election, no legitimacy, thousands put in prison, no one allowed to speak, and we should not talk about his removal. Isn't it hypocrisy? Be patient, listen, listen. Well, firstly, it's not that Eritreans did not try to remove Isaias Afwerki. They tried. They tried their best. Students protested after Ethiopia war, 1998 war. Students took to the streets. Politicians demanded reforms, opposition politicians, media joined too. That movement was crushed by the Eritrean president, Eritrean PFDJ government. Students were forced into national service, which was used by Eritrea to crush the student movement. Politicians were put in prisons. Media houses were seized by the government. Only one newspaper remained in operation, Hadas. So everyone calling for reforms back then was arrested, accused of treason. Uh, so first major attempt by the Eritrean people to remove Isaias Afwerki, or to basically back then the opposition, students, media, they were calling for reforms. They were calling for transparent election. They were not demanding removal of Isaias Afwerki, but the call for reforms was declared treason, and this movement for reforms was crushed by the Eritrean government. Firstly, secondly, uh, I think in 2013, some military officers tried to stage a coup. They took control of Eri TV. Eritrea never officially admitted that some military commanders tried to stage a coup, but it happened. But only a few military commanders were part of this plan. Majority of military commanders supported Isaias Afwerki. So that military mutiny also did not succeed. Then at least once Isaias Afwerki came under an assassination attack. At least once, I think. All that would never be confirmed by Eritrean government. They keep everything hidden under the carpet. So disgruntled military commander tried, students tried, politicians tried, media tried, but the man did not show any flexibility to hold election, or he could not be removed. Outsiders tried as well. Americans wanted to remove Isaias Afwerki. They backed EPLF. EPLF also wanted to remove Isaias Afwerki. So Americans backed EPLF. Eritrea was put under sanctions. Americans tried to cripple, Europeans tried to cripple Eritrean economy. Isaias Afwerki survived. US TPLF or West TPLF alliance could not lead to removal of Isaias Afwerki. So all that has been tried in the past. I mentioned a few methods. So this is what happened in the past. Internally, externally, forces, groups, countries tried to remove the Eritrean president. Now, second part of my talk is about current situation. How strong is Isaias Afwerki now? Very strong. Very strong. He is facing not a single threat internally. He's crushed everyone internally. There is no likelihood of any uprising against him, any coup against him, any public movement against him inside the country. The man makes decisions after consulting his cabinet. His cabinet consists of a few men who have been with him for years. Most of them are in their 70s, 80s. People like Yemane Gabriab, Isaias Afwerki himself, Philippos, the military chief, Abraha Kasa, others. All of them have been collaborating for years. Isaias Afwerki does not let youths enter the process of decision making. Old men, PFDJ, top leaders make big decisions. They trust each other. They don't let new blood enter. They don't let youths enter their decision making process. So they are set to continue. No change likely. Change will only come if some of them are replaced by new faces. If new military chief is appointed, if new intelligence agency chief is appointed, if new head of economy is appointed, then we could see change. But so far, these men, around 10, I would say, they have been making big decisions. Kitchen cabinet, fully trusting each other, no issues whatsoever. So internally, Isaias very strong. Externally, are Americans, Europeans interested in regimes in Eritrea now? No. Americans tried their best. Europeans too. I think now they want some working relationship with Eritrea. They tried their best to remove, to weaken it. President, they could not. Now they think that the best method is that they should engage with this man. Especially Trump government, I don't think would be interested. Even I think Biden government also realized that the best approach regarding Eritrea is engagement. Europeans, though criticize Eritrea, but they're not working to remove SARS. No appetite in the West, in the US to remove SARS. Uh, what about opposition groups? Opposition groups, Eritrean opposition groups, they basically have been working as advocacy groups, backed by Americans, backed by Westerners, funded by them. They only uh, got money from Westerners, from Americans, from State Department. They couldn't bring about any change in Eritrea. They're not in a position to bring about any change in Eritrea. They're not united. Some struggling along ethnic lines, others struggling along regional lines. So, no alliance among them, no strategy. They're just getting money from their donors. They have no real influence now. Only one group managed to make international headlines in the last 2 years, and that is Brigade Nihamado. Brigade Nihamado created shockwaves. Eritrean government, I think, felt the heat of the movement launched by this group. But Brigade Nihamado adopted a faulty strategy of resorting to violence on the streets of Europe and America, and now they are changing their strategy. They have realized that they'll have to adopt a new strategy. So, I share with you the entire picture and what is the best way, how can the president of Eritrea be removed? Well, when I analyzed the question about removal of Ethiopian PM, if you remember, I said there are two main factors. If these two factors, if these two conditions are met, Abiy can be removed from power. First factor is that Ethiopian opposition groups, politicians, armed groups will have to join. If they don't join, they cannot remove PM Abiy. Secondly, I said that there must be favorable appetite for change in the masses in Ethiopia. People should be willing to sacrifice, to take to the streets. That appetite is missing so far. The two factors I think are important. When it comes to Eritrea, the removal of Eritrean president, I think 5 parties will have to reach a consensus that this man should be removed. They need to work jointly and they can give it a try. It's not that the alliance of these 5 parties will surely lead to the removal of Eritrean president. But if the 5 parties join hands, the struggle to remove Eritrean president can start. Which 5 parties? Well, firstly, in current situation, we must be clear. The path to removal of Isaias Afwerki, Eritrean president, passes through Ethiopia. Though this path taken carries risk for Ethiopia too, but this is the only viable option now. There is no other path at this point of time. Which five parties? Question is, will have to join hands. Firstly, Prosperity Party. Party in power, PM Abiy leading it, military under its control, regional forces under control. They are building a million army. They have weaponry too. They have people. Prosperity Party, first party. PP alone cannot remove Isaias Afwerki. PP need one major ally in Ethiopia. Two major allies, I think, not one. PP needs two major allies in Ethiopia. Firstly, PP. Secondly, TPLF. TPLF, TDF, whatever you call them. Without TPLF, PP cannot remove Isaias Afwerki. Why? Because if PP starts efforts to remove Isaias Afwerki, Afwerki will back TPLF. TPLF will march to Addis. So PP alone cannot remove Isaias Afwerki. PP needs TPLF support. Silent support, practical support, whatever support TPLF is ready to give. TPLF needs to be on Prosperity Party side, not on Eritrean government side. If it joins the Eritrean government, then PP could be in danger. Its status, its survival could be in danger. So firstly PP, secondly TPLF, two parties. Third party is Afar. Afars of Ethiopia, Afars of Djibouti can be used to Afars of Eritrea. PP and TPLF can use Afars. These Afars have connections, relatives in Eritrea, and Afars of Ethiopia can try to make inroads into the region of Eritrea where Afars live. And already PP is using this Afar card. I think that they have reached, they have made some offers to Afars, which I hinted at in some videos in the past. Prosperity Party is making some offers to Afars. Afars of both sides, Eritrea, Ethiopia. So three parties I mentioned, PP, TPLF, Afars. Fourth party is Eritrean opposition. Brigade Hamido, Rasado, ENC, others, they'll have to take the lead as well by just issuing statements. Living in the US, living in Europe won't bring about any change. They'll have to be practically part of this war. Not just, they cannot change the government by just being advocacy groups. They need to come to the front. Eritrean opposition groups already they are joining. You're seeing their activities in Ethiopia. In Ethiopia, Rasado operating. In Ethiopia, Eritrean Afar National Congress operating. Brigade Nehamido operating. So fourth party is Eritrean opposition. Fifth party, this alliance of four parties need to be backed by at least one major global power, and that is the US. If US backs this movement by TPLF, Abiy, Afars, Eritrean opposition, these five groups can give it a try. People would say, what about Middle Eastern countries? I think that if Americans are involved, American allies in the Middle East, uh, they won't go against Americans. I think UAE will support. Uh, Please don't spam the comment section. Love 2961. You are sending the same message again. Please don't do it. Love 2961. Please don't send the same message again and again. Let people speak. Love 2961. I'll have to ban you. Don't do it, please. So let me get rid of him. He's not stopping. I did. So if Americans back this plan by the four parties I mentioned, Middle Eastern countries, I think, especially American allies, they'll support this move. This is the only way through which I think the parties can give it a try to remove Sasha. I'm not saying that this alliance, five-party alliance, will ensure the removal of Isaias Afwerki. But this is the only viable option. And this, as I said earlier, the path passes through Ethiopia. If Ethiopia reconciles with Eritrea, if Isaias Afwerki knows that there is real threat to his rule, he should reconcile with Abiy and maybe he should reach some give and take sort of deal with the Abiy's government in the form of some access to port, then this movement will fail. Perhaps this is what Ethiopia wants to, Ethiopian government. Abiy is hoping that he will create some sort of alliance to pressurize Isaias Afwerki. Isaias Afwerki, if really felt cornered, then will agree to Ethiopian demands of access to sea. That is what we call brinkmanship. So Abiy is following this very smart strategy of brinkmanship, trying to raise the level of pressure upon Eritrea. But can he just create a formidable alliance which Isaias sees as a real threat to his power? By the way, Ethiopian strategy can backfire to, as I said earlier, if Isaias manages to find allies in Ethiopia and starts a march from northern Ethiopia towards Addis, then Prosperity Party could be fighting for its own survival. So it's not easy, but I think this is the only option which is viable, or which I shared with you. Now, your questions, your comments. Galmu says, this is such an interesting topic. I never realized how unique each platform's comment culture is. Thanks for covering this. Hilati says, respect the Eritrean government and his people. I respect the people, but the government is not people's government. It was forced on people. People demanded change. They were put in prisons. They are suffering there. Voice says, how much did you get paid for this rubbish work? Now, they're not countering my arguments with counter arguments, just accusing me of being paid. One question, important question, is from Ilias. What does TPLF get in return by helping people? Yeah, try to analyze what I said neutrally. We're talking about scenarios. Yes, why would TPLF support PP in the removal of Isaias? Obviously, PP will have to share power with TPLF. PP will have to give more powers to TPLF in Tigray. So Rafil said, do you think that the removal of Isaias will lead to rethinking of Pretoria? Well, even before the removal of Isaias, if PP and TPLF reach an agreement, that will determine, that will lead to new realities, I think, in Ethiopia. You'll see change in Ethiopia. TPLF is now restricted to Tigray. It is fighting for survival, but PP will have to empower TPLF. It will have to share power with TPLF in Addis. That is how it can entice TPLF into its adventure towards Asmara. Several people are commenting about Fano, Amhara, saying that you left them out of this analysis. I know when I analyzed this topic, uh, I thought about it. I thought about it, but I think TPLF is perhaps a stronger player. If TPLF supports federal government and Volkai somehow comes under TPLF control, Eritrean connection with Amhara is disconnected. Perhaps Fano then won't be the decisive player. Fano is a player, we cannot deny that. But perhaps in the case or in the struggle to remove Isaias Afwerki, TPLF will be a more relevant player, keeping in view the fact that Tigray shares a long border with Eritrea. It has a fully organized military to uh, uh, military which fought a war, Janels, seasoned Janels. So yes, TPLF I think is a more relevant player. Adolis says National Endowment for Democracy. Ned is paying you promptly. Come on. So he got the information about the source as well, who is paying me. Oh my God, that's unbelievable. Shafo says the scenario is not viable, Mr. Sajid. TPLF, the main game changer, has already aligned with Eritrea, hence no one will remove his heart. Yeah, you are right, Shafo. TPLF is not on PP side, but we're talking about the best way which could work, the best method which could work. Right now, TPLF is not on PP side. Everyone knows that. Kidan and Birhan joined to several members in live chat tonight. Muni Muni joined too. I could not read their names. Kidane says, hello Sajid, am I making it your live chat? Yeah, you made it to live chat, Kidane, tonight. Thank you for being here. Romticha joined to says, no force on earth to remove Eritrean president. With 44 minutes have passed. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tolerating me. Dozens of viewers actually tolerated me while I was speaking. They were writing hateful comments against me, criticizing my nationality, criticizing what I eat, criticizing everything, accusing me of being paid. I did not ban any of them except one who was spamming the comment section. You're free to speak. Let me speak, and you're free to speak as well. That's the beauty of my views on news. Everyone is allowed to speak here. I talked about an imaginary scenario because a viewer asked a question last night, how to remove Isaias Afwerki. I said I'll do a video on that. I can speak on any topic related to Eritrea, Ethiopia, because I am not aligned with anyone. I don't care about the views of those who want a particular type of narrative to be aired through news channels. I'm free to express my views, and I invite you to express your views as well. In comment section, you can contact me as well. You can send videos to me. I invite members to. Members can be on my views and news. You can send a video, you can record it, I'll upload it. So this uh, platform is for all of you. Let everyone speak. Let's not silence people. Thanks for watching, viewers. It was good to be with you. I'll be back tomorrow with this week's last live chat. Thank you. Stay blessed. Bye bye.